Prepare yourselves to explore the highest points of the God Scraper, all the way to the frigid desolations of the Outzone, in Alastair Reynolds' novel Terminal World. There are some novels that guide you gently through their world building, holding your hands as you navigate the unfamiliar. Other novels thrust you straight into the story, leaving you to piece things together on your own. And then there is Terminal World by Alastair Reynolds, a novel that manages to stretch the boundaries of this categorization beyond the usual, opening up a uniquely enigmatic and mysterious world to the reader with little to no context or explanations. Published in the year 2010, Terminal World delivers a remarkable amount in its 490 pages. The sheer depth of its world building is staggering, so much so that it could easily have provided material for an entire series of books. Yet, Reynolds chose to craft a standalone novel, and he has been clear that Terminal World is a complete story in its own right. While he briefly considered expanding it into a trilogy during the planning stages, Reynolds has stated that he does not anticipate writing a sequel or prequel. However, in 2013 he did share 3 scenes on his blog, Moments from Quillian's Life, that were originally intended for the book but ultimately cut during editing. These glimpses offer a fascinating extension to the story and hint at the richness left untold. The story kicks off in Spearpoint, colloquially called the God Scraper, humanity's last remaining city, which towers a colossal spire piercing the atmosphere. Enveloping its structure are the zones, a network of semi-independent city-states, each strictly confined to a specific level of technology. For instance, Horsetown remains locked in a pre-industrial age, while Neon Heights thrives with electric trains and television. Quillian, once part of a covert mission gone disastrously wrong, has hidden himself away as a pathologist in a district morgue. His life of anonymity shatters when an almost dead angel, a winged posthuman from Spearpoint's celestial levels, lands on his dissecting table bearing grave warnings. To stay alive, Quillian must flee the only home he knows, venturing into the frigid and perilous lands beyond Spearpoint space, the so-called Outzone. This exile will take him further than he ever imagined. Yet, Quillian's survival is only a fraction of the battle, for the zone's technological boundaries are not enforced by law or government, but by the fundamental nature of reality itself. A reality that is beginning to fracture in alarming ways. As mentioned before, the world building here is truly top-notch, layered with nuance and an astonishing level of detail. Beneath the surface lies far more than initially meets the eye. Reynolds subtly weaves hints about what might really be happening in this world, but he never offers a definitive resolution within the narrative. This lack of absolute answers lends Terminal World an air of realism often absent in speculative fiction. Life rarely provides clear-cut explanations, and Reynolds mirrors that ambiguity in this particular narrative. Of course, if you are the type of reader who seeks clarity, you might be tempted to turn to Word of God, that is Reynolds' own commentary, for answers, though that might be considered to be a form of cheating. The novel's plot complements its rich setting by acting as a grand tour of this strange and layered world. As Quillian embarks on his perilous journey, the story unfolds with a sense of adventure, taking us through diverse zones, each with its own peculiarities. This structure infuses the narrative with an almost old-school adventure vibe, adding yet another dimension to an already multifaceted book. One of the most striking aspects of Terminal World is its eclectic mix of technologies and also genres, which gives the book its distinctive, unclassifiable charm. It is not exactly hard science fiction, but it is not entirely steampunk either. Instead, it blends elements from across the spectrum: steampunk aesthetics, dashes of dystopian science fiction, adventure, space western, and even hints of sci-fi horror. This mix not only shapes the story's tone, but also serves as a rich canvas for exploring unique social structures as well. The technological hierarchy within the zones creates fascinating dynamics, highlighting how technology can shape and define societies. Goodreads provides an apt and hilariously concise description of Terminal World that I cannot resist quoting verbatim. Terminal World is a snarling, drooling, crazy-eyed mongrel of a book, equal parts steampunk, western, planetary romance, and far-future science fiction. End of quote. It is difficult to imagine a more fitting summary for such a wonderfully bizarre and genre-blurring novel. As hinted at earlier, the book also ventures lightly into horror territory, particularly with the unsettling concept of flesh-feasting machines. While the horror is more subdued compared to some of Reynolds' other works, these moments still evoke an eerie sense of dread. Another notable strength of Terminal World lies in its cast of characters. With a mid-sized ensemble, the novel strikes a balance between focusing on a manageable number of key players, while still fleshing out its world through diverse perspectives. For a science fiction novel, a genre often accused of prioritizing concepts over character development, Terminal World does a commendable job of presenting believable, well-rounded individuals which bring unique contributions to the narrative while they also add depth and texture to the world around them. All of these aforementioned points seem to not have gone unnoticed with professional reviewers and those responsible for the various prestigious science fiction literature awards, as Terminal World was nominated for the Locus Award for Best Science Fiction Novel, as well as for the Wales Book of the Year, both in 2011. It furthermore was nominated for the Dati Valteia Award 1 year later. Albeit, Terminal World did not secure the win for any of these awards. Furthermore, looking at its popular reception as reflected by the combined rating obtained from thousands of reviews on Goodreads, Library Thing and Amazon, then we are looking at an underwhelming 3.8 out of 5 stars. This comparatively modest popular reception puzzles me a bit. Terminal World with its 3.8 out of 5 stars is by no means a failure in this department, but it falls short of what I would expect for a novel of this caliber. In my personal view, this is one of Alastair Reynolds' stronger works, with world building so intricate and compelling that it is worth the read on its own. As I have mentioned throughout this review, the sheer ambition of the setting and its execution is nothing short of remarkable. So, why the lukewarm reception? There are a few possible explanations. For one, the novel leaves several dangling plot threads unresolved, relying on the reader's imagination to fill in the gaps. While this open-ended approach can be seen as a strength, adding a layer of realism and mystery, which was mentioned previously as well, it may have frustrated readers seeking more definitive answers. One Goodreads review made a particularly striking comparison. Terminal World could easily feel like the middle novel of a trilogy. The middle novel is the important point here. Imagine reading The Two Towers without ever having access to The Fellowship of the Ring or The Return of the King, and with no hope of future installments in this wonderfully constructed narrative universe. It is easy to see how this narrative structure might leave some readers feeling dissatisfied and frustrated, to say the least. And I must admit that I was hoping for more novels set in this universe when I finished Terminal World. But then again, further installments always bear the risk to dilute and weaken what made the original so special. Another factor might be the unconventional mix of genres that might not appeal to everyone. Some readers may have been put off by its refusal to sit neatly within a single category. Overall, while the novel's genre-defying ambition, the open-ended storytelling, and the scavenger hunt for details regarding the true history of this particular world may have divided opinions within the readership, for me, these very qualities are part of what makes Terminal World stand out, and why I can wholeheartedly recommend reading this snarling, drooling, crazy-eyed mongrel of a book. If you liked this video, you may also enjoy the other reviews and content on my channel. Feel free to leave a comment if you want to discuss the novels or if you want to suggest other books that I should review in the future. Please consider upvoting and subscribing, it is much appreciated. Thank you for watching, and until next time.